There's a concept called the banality of evil. It's the idea that evil isn't always some grand villain. It can be cold, methodical, and indifferent. It can be a boardroom meeting, a transaction, or a decision made in a cubicle. It's not always malicious. It's often just the job. The United Healthcare CEO, he wasn't a supervillain. He was a cog in the machine doing exactly what he was hired to do: generate profits for the shareholders, regardless of the cost to human life. And let's not sugarcoat it. His job was essentially a license to kill, with the blood on his hands hidden behind the glossy marketing campaigns and boardroom speeches. That's why nobody feels bad about his death. It's not because people are heartless. It's because he was a serial killer. He didn't need to pick up a weapon. His weapon was the policy, the profit margins, the insurance claim denials. His killings were systemic, invisible, and institutional. He stood at the top of a system that denied people the care they needed and sent them bankrupt while raking in millions. The people who suffered weren't even visible, just numbers on a balance sheet. The world is devoid of sympathy, and the response to his assassination proves it. For the rich and powerful, it's all bewilderment or fear. Fear of the anger that has been simmering for years. For the rest of us, we're either relieved, indifferent, or outright joyful. Why? Because health insurance companies are universally hated. No one wants to see a CEO like that at the top of a system that's designed to exploit people's suffering. And here's the thing. The fear that the rich are feeling right now, it's important. They're starting to realize something they've never had to face before. They are replaceable. The CEO wasn't the mastermind. He wasn't the one pulling all the strings. He was just doing the bidding of the shareholders, the true cancer of this system. He was a figurehead. And now that he's gone, they're realizing that the system can and will keep going without them. That's what scares them. They don't control anything. They just sit on top, profiting off a broken system they did nothing to build. The media is confused. The talking heads can't understand why people aren't crying over the death of a so-called important figure. But the answer is simple. The people aren't blind. They see the system for what it is. It's a system built on exploitation, on turning human lives into numbers and profits. And when that system starts to feel the tremors of real change, the people at the top, who have never been touched by the consequences of their actions, are terrified. It's a strange thing when the rich suddenly feel the fear that the rest of us have lived with for generations. This is the reality we live in. The rich can hide behind their mansions and media empires, but the truth is, they are nothing without the labor of the working class. They are nothing without us. And the fact that they're scared? Good. They should be. Because it's about time that the people who have been pushed to the edge start making their voices heard. No more letting them pull the strings behind the curtains while we toil away in the shadows. We've seen it. We've felt it. We've lived it. The system is broken. And if we don't change it, it will only continue to feed off our pain. So let the rich tremble. Let the media squirm. It's our turn now.